Chosen one. Have you ever sat in the quiet of your own thoughts and wondered why after all this time, God has kept you single? Have you questioned why every relationship either fades, crumbles, or simply never begins no matter how much you have prayed or tried? This is not an accident. This is not rejection. This is divine timing, and it has everything to do with who you are and what you are called to be. You didn't click this video by chance. This message has reached you at the perfect moment, right when you needed the confirmation your spirit has been searching for. You see, being set apart often feels like isolation, but it is in truth sacred protection. God has been preserving you for something rare, something powerful. And today I am going to reveal exactly why this season of singleness has been part of your divine assignment. By the end, you will see your life, your waiting, and even your past relationships in a completely different light. Before we begin, type 777 in the comments. If you know deep down that this message is for you, subscribe, tap the bell icon, and share this with another chosen one, so they too can receive what they were meant to hear. Recognizing your calling in singleness, chosen one, the first truth you must embrace is this: your singleness is not a flaw to be fixed, but a calling to be honored. Many will not understand this because the world has been taught to see singleness as an in-between stage, something you should rush through on your way to a relationship. But for you, this season is not a waiting room. It is a training ground. From the very beginning, God has set His mark upon you. You have always been different, and deep down, you have known it. Even as a child, you felt the pull of something greater, something that called you away from the ordinary. And because of this, your path was never going to look like everyone else's. Where others could settle easily into relationships, God would not let you. He has been guarding your heart, your time, and your focus for a purpose beyond what you can fully see right now. You see, relationships are not just about companionship. They are spiritual covenants. They link destinies, merge callings, and intertwine spiritual assignments. For someone with your calling, God cannot afford for you to be tied to the wrong person. Even a well-meaning but spiritually unaligned partner can steer your destiny off course. This is why doors you thought were right seem to slam shut without warning. This is why people you thought would be permanent suddenly disappeared. It wasn't because you weren't good enough. It was because you are chosen, and God refuses to let anything dilute your mission. Think about it. How many times have you connected with someone and felt a spark only for that spark to quickly fade? How many times have you thought this must be the one, only to watch the relationship unravel before it could even take root? That is not random. That is divine interference. God will allow your heart to feel a connection, but if that person cannot walk with you into the next level of your calling, He will remove them, sometimes abruptly, in your singleness. God is shaping your discernment. This is the ability to see beyond charm, attraction, and surface-level compatibility, and to perceive the spiritual reality behind a person. Chosen ones must have sharp spiritual vision because their partner will be more than a companion. They will be a co-laborer in the kingdom. God knows that if you commit to someone too soon before this discernment is mature, you may attach yourself to someone who looks right but is wrong for your spirit. This is also why you have felt seasons of deep separation, where you pull back from social circles, lose interest in dating, and even feel a holy dissatisfaction with the idea of settling down just to fit in. In those times, God was clearing the noise so you could hear His voice more clearly. The less you are distracted by the wrong relationships, the more you can grow into the fullness of your assignment. And let's be honest, chosen one, your assignment is weighty. God isn't just preparing you to be someone's spouse. He is preparing you to carry influence, to speak truth, to bring healing, to shift atmospheres wherever you go. You cannot step into that kind of power without going through seasons of refinement. And refinement often happens in solitude. While others might fill their time with constant companionship, you are being trained in the quiet. During this time, God is also teaching you the value of your own presence. Many chosen ones fall into the trap of thinking their worth increases when they are partnered. But the truth is, your worth was established before you were even born. Singleness allows you to see yourself through God's eyes, whole, complete, lacking nothing. When you understand that, you stop attracting relationships out of loneliness and start attracting from abundance. I want you to notice something about your journey so far. Every relationship that ended, every door that closed, every person who walked away, it all pushed you closer to God. It stripped away distractions and brought you to a place where you could hear Him more clearly. That is not failure. That is alignment. God has been building a version of you that can stand strong with or without human companionship. In this season, pay attention to how God is equipping you. You may find yourself drawn to new spiritual practices, studying the Word more deeply, discovering hidden talents, or feeling a stronger sense of purpose. This is your preparation. The work you do now will not be wasted. When the time comes and God does send your kingdom partner, you will meet them as a whole person, someone rooted in purpose, not desperate for validation. Remember, chosen one, your calling is too significant to be rushed. If you have been feeling like you are behind in life because you are still single, understand this: you are not behind. You are on schedule. God's schedule and His timing is flawless. The very thing you have been waiting for will arrive not a moment too soon or too late, but exactly when both you and your partner are ready to walk in unity without compromise. Until then, don't despise your singleness. Recognize it as the sacred season that it is. This is where God is molding your heart, sharpening your spirit, and preparing you to carry the weight of your destiny. You are not being overlooked. You are being set apart. And the same God who called you into this season will call you out of it when the work is done. This is why, chosen one, you must embrace your calling in singleness. It is not punishment. It is protection. It is not delay. It is divine strategy. And when you understand this, you will stop questioning God's plan and start walking in it with confidence and peace, spiritual protection, and energy preservation. Chosen one of the deepest reasons God has kept you single is because your spirit carries a weight that not everyone can handle, and not everyone should be allowed to touch. You are not just flesh and blood. You are a spiritual vessel carrying light, wisdom, and authority. The wrong connection can drain that light faster than you realize, and the enemy knows this. So God has placed a shield around you, one that often comes in the form of isolation. Relationships are more than emotional bonds. They are energy exchanges. Every conversation, every touch, every moment spent with another person is an exchange of spiritual substance. For a chosen one, whose very presence can shift atmospheres, this exchange is sacred. It must be protected. Imagine trying to fill a cup while there is a crack in the bottom. No matter how much God pours into you, if you are connected to someone who leaks your energy, you will always feel empty. This is why some relationships in your life have ended so suddenly and without explanation. You may have thought it was your fault, or perhaps theirs, but often it was neither. God saw something you could not see, an unseen spiritual weight. That person carried an unclean agenda they themselves might not even have been aware of. He removed them because their presence in your life would have compromised your mission. Chosen ones attract people for many reasons. Some are drawn to your light because they recognize the God in you. Others are drawn because your energy feels like healing to them, even if they cannot name it. And then there are those who are sent. Yes, sent by forces that oppose your purpose. Their role is to distract, to discourage, or to drain. They may come disguised as romance, as friendship, or even as help. Without spiritual protection, you might not see the danger until it is too late. This is why God keeps you hidden from certain people, and why some potential connections never even make it to the first conversation. There is also a truth many overlook. Intimacy creates soul ties. These are not just emotional memories. They are spiritual bonds that link your spirit to another's. A soul tie with the wrong person can fog your vision, distort your hearing. When God speaks, and keep you tethered to cycles you have already outgrown. God will not allow you, His chosen vessel, to be entangled in soul ties that weaken your ability to fulfill your assignment. Think back on your life. Can you remember times when you were around certain people and your spiritual fire felt dimmer? When your dreams became harder to remember, your prayers felt heavier, or your clarity seemed clouded? That is not coincidence. That is energy being siphoned. The enemy knows he cannot destroy you outright. So, he aims to drain you until you no longer have the strength to walk in your calling. God knows this, too, and He will not allow it. Some of you have felt a strange, almost supernatural barrier when trying to date or pursue someone. Everything would look fine on the surface, but it just wouldn't move forward. That is because God has posted angels at the gates of your destiny, and no one gets through unless they have clearance. Those rejections you cried over were actually spiritual rescues. I want you to understand that this level of protection is not something everyone experiences. It is a privilege, even if it feels like a burden. Many people are free to make their own choices in love, even if those choices harm them in the long run. But because you are chosen, God has reserved the right to intervene when the connection would derail your purpose. That may mean fewer options, but it also means higher quality in the ones who are truly sent for you. Your energy is precious because it fuels the work you are meant to do on earth. Every act of kindness, every word you speak, every prayer you pray draws from that reservoir. If you allow the wrong people constant access to it, you will find yourself exhausted and unable to stand firm when your assignment calls. This is why God is not rushing you into relationships. He is teaching you how to guard your spirit and how to discern who deserves your energy. You have probably noticed that even in friendships, you are sensitive to the presence of negativity, gossip, jealousy, or hidden motives. That is your spiritual radar at work. The same radar that warns you in friendships will be even more crucial in choosing a life partner. This is not just about avoiding pain. It is about preserving the anointing you carry. Anointing flows best in purity, focus, and peace. And the wrong relationship will choke all three. Chosen one, if you have experienced repeated patterns of short-lived relationships, don't see it as rejection. See it as divine protection. God has been placing a spiritual firewall around you because what you carry is too valuable to be contaminated. There are assignments that require you to be spiritually sharp at all times, and a draining relationship would blur that sharpness. Sometimes, God's protection even comes in the form of making you invisible to certain people. You may wonder why you don't get approached as often as others, or why you seem to be overlooked. The truth is, you are not overlooked. You are hidden from those who would mishandle your heart, hidden from those who would pull you into cycles of drama, hidden from those who would consume your light without ever pouring back into you. So in this season, instead of resenting your singleness, honor it as a shield. Thank God for the connections that didn't happen, for the ended abruptly, and for the doors that closed in your face. Every no was a rescue. Every not yet was a layer of armor being placed over your spirit. You may not have seen the danger, but heaven did. And if this resonates with you, if you can look back and now see the patterns of divine interference that saved you from spiritual and emotional harm, type 444 in the comments right now. This is your confirmation that your solitude is not punishment. It is God's way of preserving the light within you, so that when He finally releases you into the arms of your kingdom partner, you will be whole, strong, and radiant. God has been guarding you because He knows the cost of your calling. You cannot pour from an empty vessel. Your energy must be preserved. Your spirit must be protected, and your heart must remain uncorrupted. That chosen one is why you have been kept single for so long. Not because you are unworthy, but because you are priceless, refining your spirit and character development. Chosen one. God's decision to keep you single for this season is not only about shielding you from harm, it is also about shaping you into the vessel He needs you to be. Every calling comes with a weight, and before you can carry that weight, your spirit and character must be refined. This is the part many struggle with because refinement often feels like isolation, stretching, and sometimes even breaking. But in God's hands, breaking is never for destruction. It is for rebuilding you stronger, purer, and wiser. When you are single, you have a unique advantage. You can hear God more clearly without the constant noise of a partner's needs, opinions, and energy in your space. In this stillness, God begins to strip away the parts of you that will not survive at your next level. He exposes pride, impatience, self-doubt, and hidden wounds that you may not have known were there. A relationship might distract you from dealing with these things, but solitude forces you to confront them head-on. This is the wilderness season, a spiritual training ground. Think of David tending sheep before becoming king, or Moses in the desert before leading Israel, or even Jesus spending 40 days in the wilderness before his public ministry began. In each of these cases, their time away from the crowd was not wasted. It was essential. God used that time to refine their character, sharpen their discernment, and strengthen their resolve. He is doing the same with you. Refinement also reveals the hidden treasures in your spirit. Many of your gifts are discovered in seasons when you have to rely fully on God. When there is no one else to lean on emotionally, you learn to lean on Him. When you are not pouring into a relationship, you have the capacity to pour into your spiritual growth, creative callings, and personal mission. These seasons are where the chosen ones learn to lead, create, minister, and build without depending on external validation. God is also teaching you emotional maturity. Relationships, especially kingdom unions, require a level of self-control and emotional balance that can only be developed through testing. In your single season, you are learning to manage your reactions, master your emotions, and walk in patience. Without this preparation, even the right relationship could collapse under the weight of emotional immaturity. Patience is one of the most overlooked fruits of refinement. God is teaching you to trust His timing. Instead of rushing to meet your own deadlines, He is showing you that delay does not mean denial by keeping you single. He is breaking the world's voice in your head that says you must be partnered to be complete. He is building a foundation so solid that no relationship or lack thereof can shake your identity. There is also a cleansing that happens in this season. God removes unhealthy desires, mindsets, and coping mechanisms you may have carried into your relationships before. He heals the parts of you that were shaped by past heartbreaks, betrayals, or disappointments. Without this healing, you would unknowingly carry old wounds into new relationships, creating cycles of pain. But through refinement, God ensures that when the time comes, you meet your kingdom partner from a place of wholeness, not from a place of desperation or brokenness. And let's talk about your standards. In this season, God is raising them not in a prideful way, but in a way that aligns with your worth and your calling. When you know who you are and what you carry, you stop accepting less than what God has ordained for you. You no longer tolerate dishonor, spiritual laziness, or half-hearted love. You begin to recognize the difference between someone who is simply interested in you and someone who is truly assigned to your destiny. Refinement also shapes your humility. God is removing the parts of you that could misuse the blessings He has for you. Power, influence, and love can all be corrupted if your character is not strong enough to handle them. By keeping you single, God is making sure that when He gives you a partner, influence, or a larger platform, you remain grounded and led by His Spirit, not by ego or emotion. In this process, you may feel the tension between wanting companionship and knowing God is still working on you. That tension is a sign you are in the fire of refinement. Fire is uncomfortable. It burns away what doesn't belong. It demands surrender. But the result is gold, pure, strong, and unshakable. That is what God is making of you in this season. Chosen one. I know it can be hard when you look around and see others meeting, marrying, and building lives together while you remain in your single season. But understand this, their process is not your process. Your preparation is different because your calling is different. The greater the assignment, the deeper the refinement. God cannot afford to send you out prematurely. He has invested too much in you to let you crumble under the weight of an assignment you were not fully prepared for. One day, you will thank God for this time. You will look back and see how much you grew in wisdom, how much stronger your faith became, and how much clearer your vision was because of your solitude. You will realize that the version of you who started this season could not have handled the blessings God is about to release. So, embrace this refining process. Let God work on you fully. Lean into the lessons He is teaching you. Use this time to deepen your relationship with Him, to master your gifts, and to become the kind of person who can not only attract, but also sustain a healthy God-ordained relationship. Your singleness is not a pause in your story. It is the chapter where God is making you into someone who is unstoppable in purpose, unshakable in faith, and unbreakable in spirit. And when He decides you are ready, your character will be so refined, your spirit so strong that the blessings He places in your life will only multiply and never be lost. That chosen one is the beauty and necessity of this refining season. It is not here to hurt you. It is here to prepare you for everything you have prayed for and more, breaking generational cycles. Chosen one. Another reason God has kept you single for this long is because you are the one assigned to break generational cycles in your bloodline. You are not just living your own story. You are rewriting a history that has been passed down for decades, maybe even centuries. The patterns you have seen in your family when it comes to relationships, marriage, loyalty, trust, and even love are not all by accident. Some of them are spiritual cycles that have been repeated because no one before you had the knowledge, strength, or anointing to stop them. But you do. For some of you, you have seen cycles of broken marriages, infidelity, toxic partnerships, single parenting without support, financial instability within relationships, or constant emotional abuse being normalized. These patterns have a spiritual root, and if left unrest, they keep passing on to the next generation like an invisible inheritance. The enemy knows that if he can keep these cycles alive in your family, he can weaken the foundation for future generations. But God has chosen you to be the interruption. This is why you cannot just rush into any relationship. God has been using this time of singleness to open your eyes to what is truly going on. You are learning to identify dysfunction, so you can stop it at its root. You have probably noticed that you cannot tolerate certain behaviors or compromises that others in your family overlooked. That is not just personal preference. That is the Spirit of God inside you refusing to repeat history. Being single in this season is giving you the clarity and space to heal from wounds you didn't even cause. You are dealing with pain that may have started before you were born. You are forgiving offenses you didn't personally experience but still carry in your spirit because of the environment you were raised in. This healing work requires focus, and it cannot be rushed or done halfway. God has to close every door to the old cycle before you can open the door to the new. Some of you may have even wondered why you haven't been able to connect deeply with certain people you were interested in, even if they seemed good. The truth is, God saw seeds in them that could grow into the very cycles He is calling you to break. Even if you didn't see it at first, He knew that attaching yourself to that person could pull you right back into the patterns He is delivering you from. This is divine prevention. Understand this. Breaking a generational cycle is not just about you finding the right partner. It is about you becoming the right person, so that when God joins you with your kingdom spouse, your relationship becomes a new starting point for the generations to come. Your children will not grow up seeing dysfunction as normal. Your family will have a new spiritual foundation rooted in peace, honor, and covenant love. That is the assignment God is protecting. This process also requires you to unlearn the unhealthy relationship models you were shown. Maybe you were taught to accept mistreatment because love means sacrifice. Maybe you saw manipulation disguised as romance. Maybe you saw people settling for less because they were afraid of being alone. All of those mindsets have to be replaced with God's truth. And that happens best in seasons when He has your full attention, chosen one. I know this work can feel lonely. You might even question whether it is worth it. But I need you to remember something. You are carrying the freedom of those who will come after you. Your obedience now will become their inheritance later. The healthy love you model will be the standard your children and their children carry forward. The boundaries you enforce will protect them from ever stepping into cycles of abuse, dishonor, or spiritual compromise. This is also why the warfare of your love life has been so intense. The enemy does not want you to succeed here, because he knows that once you break the cycle, the chain is broken permanently. But God's protection over you is stronger than any plan against you. Every delay, every rejection, every breakup that felt devastating, it was all working for your deliverance. You are not behind. You are ahead because you are stopping what has been holding your family back for generations. And when the time comes, your love story will not just be a blessing to you. It will be a testimony that God can redeem and restore what was broken for so long. So in this season, continue to allow God to work on you. Keep studying His Word. Keep healing. Keep breaking every lie you were taught about love and relationships. Refuse to settle for anything that smells like the old cycle. And trust that when your time comes, you will enter a relationship not as a carrier of generational pain, but as the vessel of generational blessing, chosen one. God kept you single this long because the foundation He is building through you will last. And that foundation will be so strong that not only you, but every life connected to you will be able to stand on it for generations to come. Assignments that require solitude. Chosen one. One of the greatest misunderstandings people have about your life is why you seem to spend so much time alone. They assume you are isolated because you cannot find the right person or because you are being too picky. But the truth is far deeper. God has placed specific assignments on your life that can only be birthed in solitude. Your single season is not a gap in your story. It is the exact environment required for the work He has called you to do right now. Some assignments are so delicate, so sacred, that they cannot be completed in the noise of constant companionship. They require stillness, focus, and the absence of unnecessary voices in your ear. God knows that when you are in a relationship, your attention is divided. And for this particular chapter of your life, your attention must be fully on Him. This is not about deprivation. It is about concentration. Think about how many major movements in history began in solitude. Prophets received visions in the wilderness. Leaders discovered their strategy in hidden places. Writers, thinkers, and inventors have all known that there is a depth of creativity and revelation that only comes when you are alone with your thoughts and with God. Right now, He has you in that same kind of season. You may not even fully understand all the assignments you are carrying. Some will be revealed gradually. Others you are already aware of. A ministry to build, a message to share, a creative work to complete, a business or mission that carries kingdom impact. If you had a partner right now, especially one who wasn't aligned with your calling, they could unintentionally pull you away from completing these assignments on time. God's assignments are time-sensitive. They are not random ideas. They are divine instructions meant to be fulfilled in a window. If you miss that window because you were distracted or drained, the ripple effect could impact not only your life, but the lives of those your assignment was meant to touch. That is why He is protecting this season for you so fiercely. Solitude also teaches you to hear God without interference. When you are constantly surrounded by people, it is easy for their voices, opinions, and even their fears to mix with what you think God is saying. In the quiet, you learn the difference between His voice and all the others. You learn how He speaks to you personally. This sensitivity will be crucial in your next season, especially when you are walking with a partner and making decisions that impact both of you. Some of you are carrying assignments that require intense spiritual preparation, fasting, prayer, study, and obedience at levels you have never known before. These disciplines are much harder to maintain when your focus is split between fulfilling God's call and nurturing a relationship. Right now, God wants your spirit laser-focused on the work. You may also find that your current assignments demand a level of flexibility and mobility that a relationship could make more complicated. He might need you to move suddenly, travel for His purposes, or devote long hours to building something new. These moves often don't make sense to others, but they are essential steps in fulfilling your destiny. In solitude, you can move quickly without having to explain or compromise. It is not that God never intends for you to have companionship. It is that He knows the order of your preparation. Some missions must be completed before you step into covenant with your kingdom partner, so that when they arrive, you are both free to step into the next season together without unfinished business hanging over your head. Your solitude is also where God sharpens your confidence in Him. Without a partner to rely on emotionally, financially, or mentally, you learn to lean on Him for every need. You learn that He is your provider, your comforter, your guide. This spiritual independence is what will keep you strong when challenges come in your future relationship. You will not be leaning on your partner as a crutch. You will be standing beside them in strength. For some of you, this solitude is not just for your sake. It is for the sake of the person you will one day meet. God is working on them too, preparing them for the weight of their own assignments. If you came together too early, the pull of your separate callings might tear you apart before you were ready to walk in unity. This time apart allows both of you to finish the personal missions God has given you before you unite for the shared ones. I know this can be a hard truth to accept, especially when your heart longs for companionship, but you must see this for what it is: a sacred partnership between you and God in which He is entrusting you with tasks that will impact eternity. You are in a divine work season, and relationships will come when the work that requires your full solitude is complete. When you look back, you will see that the projects, messages, creations, and ministries born in this time were only possible because you had the space to think, pray, and act without distraction. You will thank God for the clarity, the protection, and even the quiet nights that felt lonely, because they were the very soil in which your destiny took root and began to grow. Chosen one, honor this season. Don't fight it and don't waste it wishing it away. The solitude you are in now is not empty space. It is a holy assignment in itself. And when that work is done, you will step into your next chapter, knowing you were faithful to the mission God placed in your hands. That is when you will be ready for the union He has planned for you. A union built not on distraction or compromise, but on two completed individuals joining together to fulfill a greater call. Divine timing and the partner prepared for you, chosen one. One of the greatest truths you must settle in your heart is that God's timing is not your timing, and yet His timing is perfect. If He has kept you single this long, it is not because He has forgotten you, but because both you and your future partner are being prepared for something greater than the relationship itself. Kingdom unions are not built in haste. They are crafted with precision, aligned not just in love, but in purpose, and established in the fullness of God's timing. It is easy to feel impatient, especially when your heart is ready and your spirit is longing for that companionship. You may look around and see others meeting, marrying, and building families while you remain in what feels like an endless waiting season. But chosen one, God is not late. He is your life and your partner's life, so that when you meet, every piece will be in place. This means He is working behind the scenes on things you cannot yet see. Your future partner is not just a random person. They are someone with a destiny that will align with yours. Like two rivers merging into one. That kind of connection requires both of you to be spiritually mature, emotionally healed, and fully equipped for the assignments you will carry together. If either of you enters the union prematurely, the weight of the calling could become a burden instead of a blessing. This is why God's delay is actually His mercy. Consider how many people meet the right person at the wrong time. Without preparation, the relationship struggles to survive. And what could have been a kingdom partnership becomes a story of heartbreak. God is ensuring that does not happen to you. He is making sure that when the two of you meet, it is not just a spark. It is a sustained fire that will burn through the challenges and last through the seasons of life. This preparation is twofold. While God is shaping your heart, strengthening your spirit, and refining your character, He is also doing the same for your future partner. They may be learning lessons right now that will allow them to love you in a way no one else ever could. They might be in their own wilderness season, shaking the weight of past wounds, developing patience, and aligning their life with God's purpose. When the time is right, the meeting will not feel forced. There will be a certainty that surpasses any previous connection you have had. You will not have to beg God for signs, because everything about the timing and alignment will confirm itself. Conversations will flow. Your spirits will resonate, and your purposes will naturally intertwine. This is the beauty of divine timing. It eliminates striving. I want you to understand something important here. You are not waiting for a person. You are waiting for a season. Seasons are ordained by God, and no matter how much you try to rush them, they will not arrive early. Just like fruit ripens in its own time, so too does a kingdom partnership. If you try to pick it before it is ready, it will not have the sweetness it is meant to carry. There is also protection in God's timing. While you wait, He shields you from counterfeits, people who look like the answer, but are sent to distract or derail you. This is why in this season, you must stay close to Him. If you wander off into relationships that He has not ordained, you risk emotional detours that delay your meeting with the one He has prepared for you. In your single season, ask God to prepare your heart for the kind of love He wants to give you. Pray for your future partner, not just for their safety and well-being, but for their spiritual growth and obedience to God's plan. This is not wasted prayer. In fact, it strengthens the spiritual bond between you before you even meet. When divine timing arrives, it will feel like everything before it was simply leading you to this moment. You will see why certain relationships didn't work, why some people left, and why God seemed silent during seasons of loneliness. Every unanswered prayer will make sense. Every tear you cried will find its reason. You will realize that God wasn't making you wait to punish you. He was making you wait to perfect the blessing. Some of you may be closer to this moment than you think. Signs that your season is shifting can include a sudden clarity about your own purpose, an increase in peace about your singleness, doors opening in your life that align with your calling, and even dreams or visions that confirm what is ahead. When these signs appear, don't rush, but pay attention. God often gives hints before the full revelation, and here is the beautiful thing. Chosen one. When the right person comes in God's time, you will not have to lose yourself to keep them. You will not have to compromise your values, mute your calling, or diminish your light. They will see you, value you, and walk alongside you as an equal partner in the kingdom. Your love will not just be about the two of you. It will be a testimony that glorifies God. So hold steady, keep building, keep growing, keep walking in your purpose. God is not just preparing them for you. He is preparing you for the kind of love you have never experienced before. A love that is patient, steadfast, purpose-driven, and protected by heaven itself. Chosen one. When that moment comes, you will not have to ask, "Is this it?" Every part of you, mind, body, and spirit, will know, and you will be grateful for every single day of waiting because it will have been worth it. The partner God has for you is not just someone to share life with. They are someone to share destiny with, and that, my dear chosen one, is always worth the wait. How to steward your single season. Chosen one. If God has trusted you with this season of singleness, then you must treat it as the sacred assignment it truly is. Too many people waste their single years in frustration, constantly wishing the season away instead of using it for the very purpose God gave it to them. But you, because you are chosen, must handle this season differently. This is not idle time. This is preparation ground. How you steward it will directly impact the quality of your next season, including the partner God sends into your life. The first way to steward your single season is to deepen your relationship with God. Without the distractions of a romantic relationship, your heart and your mind are open to hear His voice more clearly. This is the perfect time to strengthen your prayer life, study His Word, and spend extended time in His presence. You are learning how to let Him be your source of comfort, joy, and guidance, so that when you do have a partner, they will complement you, not complete you. This is also the time to discover and master your purpose. Your kingdom partner will be aligned with your calling, so you need to know what that calling is. What are your gifts? What has God placed on your heart to build, create, or lead? Instead of focusing on finding the one, focus on becoming the one God has called you to be. Invest in your skills. Pursue education or training. Start the business. Launch the ministry, or write the book that has been on your heart. The more you walk in purpose now, the more ready you will be to unite with someone whose mission matches your own. Stewardship in this season also means healing from your past. Too many people enter new relationships carrying unhealed wounds from the old ones. That is a recipe for cycles to repeat. Use this time to let God deal with every hurt, betrayal, and disappointment you have carried. Forgive the people who wronged you. Release the bitterness that tries to grow in your heart, and allow Him to cleanse you from unhealthy patterns and beliefs about love. When you heal now, you protect your future. Guarding your purity in body, mind, and spirit is another vital part of stewarding this season. It is not just about avoiding physical intimacy outside of covenant. It is also about keeping your heart and thoughts pure from connections and influences that pull you away from God. Watch the content you consume, the people you allow into your inner circle, and the situations you place yourself in. Purity is not about restriction. It is about preservation. You are preserving yourself for the one God has chosen for you. Financial stewardship is also key. The more stable and disciplined you become now, the stronger foundation you will have for your future household. Learn to manage your money wisely, eliminate unnecessary debt, and create healthy financial habits. Your future relationship will benefit from the stability you build now, and you will be prepared to walk in provision instead of constantly battling financial strain. This season is also a time to build strong, healthy, non-romantic relationships. Surround yourself with like-minded believers who sharpen your faith and encourage your growth. Community is essential, not as a replacement for your future spouse, but as a support system that will help you stay accountable and encouraged in this journey. Another way to steward your single season well is to embrace self-mastery. Learn discipline in your habits, develop a healthy lifestyle, care for your body, and nourish your mind. God calls us to be good stewards of the temple He has given us. That includes your physical health, mental wellness, and emotional stability. When you care for yourself now, you enter your next season strong, confident, and ready to give your best. Use this time to practice serving without expecting anything in return. Volunteer. Give to those in need. Mentor someone younger in the faith. Serving teaches humility, patience, and compassion, qualities that will make you not just a good partner, but a great one. And perhaps most importantly, learn to be content. Contentment is not about giving up on your desire for marriage. It is about learning to find joy and fulfillment in God. No matter your relationship status, when you are content in Him, you no longer cling to relationships out of fear of being alone. You will enter your future union from a place of abundance, not desperation. And that makes all the difference. Chosen one, you must understand that this single season is not a pause button on your life. It is a divine investment. Every day you choose to steward it well. You are storing up blessings for your future. You are becoming the version of yourself that can not only attract your kingdom partner, but also thrive in the relationship God has for you. Do not waste this time waiting passively for someone to show up. Use it actively, intentionally, and prayerfully. Pour into your spiritual life, your purpose, your health, your finances, your healing, and your joy. The more you pour into yourself now, the more you will have to pour into your future marriage. When the time comes and God brings the one He has prepared for you, you will not meet them as someone still searching for identity, healing, or stability. You will meet them as a whole, confident, purpose-driven child of God, someone ready to build a kingdom legacy together. And in that moment, you will be grateful for every single day you chose to steward this season well, because you will see how it prepared you for everything that is ahead. Closing prophetic reassurance and call to action. Chosen one, you have walked with me through this message, and by now you can see it clearly. Your singleness has never been about rejection or delay. It has been about divine strategy. Every closed door, Every relationship that ended, every season of solitude, was God's way of building you, protecting you, and positioning you for something far greater than you could have imagined in the moment. This is not just about romance. It is about destiny. God has been writing a story where every chapter, even the ones filled with loneliness and questions, serves a purpose. He has been refining your spirit, preserving your energy, healing generational wounds, and preparing you for assignments that require your full attention. He has been shaping you into someone who will not just enter a relationship, but will enter it with the ability to sustain it, nurture it, and use it as a vessel for His glory. I want you to feel the weight of this truth. You are not behind. You are exactly where God needs you to be in this season. The enemy wants you to believe you are missing out, that life is passing you by. But in reality, you are ahead of the curve because you are allowing God to build your foundation before your house. Many rush into love without this foundation and pay the price later. You, however, are letting the master builder prepare you so that when your union comes, it will stand the test of time. There is a prophetic shift coming in your life. For some of you, this message is your confirmation that your waiting season is nearing its end. You will begin to notice divine alignments, doors opening effortlessly, and a sense of readiness rising in your spirit. You will know it is time, not because of desperation or pressure, but because of peace. For others, God is letting you know that He still has work to complete in you before He sends your partner. And that is not something to fear or resent. It is something to embrace. The longer you allow Him to work, the more complete His blessing will be. Hear me clearly. The partner God is preparing for you is not just someone to love you. They are someone to walk with you in purpose. They will understand your calling, respect your boundaries, honor your spirit, and cherish your presence. They will not be intimidated by your light, but will protect and nurture it. And together, you will be a living testimony of what God can do when two people submit their relationship to Him. Until that day comes, I am urging you, do not waste your single season. Steward it with intention. Guard your heart, grow your gifts, deepen your walk with God, and build the life He has placed on your heart. When your partner arrives, they will find you already living in your purpose, not waiting for them to unlock it. That is the kind of union God blesses. Chosen one, your patience is not in vain. Every day you choose obedience over compromise. Every time you trust God instead of rushing ahead, you are sowing seeds into your future, and the harvest will be worth every tear, every lonely night, every unanswered question. God's promise is sure, and His timing is flawless. So, here is my call to you right now. Stand firm. Refuse to settle for anything less than what God has promised. Keep your eyes fixed on Him, not on the calendar, not on comparison, and not on the pressure of other people's opinions. Your story is unique, and it will unfold in a way that brings glory to God and joy to your heart. If this message has been your confirmation, I want you to declare it in the comments right now. Type 777 as a prophetic act of agreement that you are in alignment with God's plan for your life. Let heaven and earth see that you trust His hand in this season. And as you do, know that I am standing in faith with you for the fulfillment of every promise He has made concerning your life and your relationships. Before we close, I want to leave you with this blessing. May the Lord continue to guard your heart, sharpen your discernment, and fill your spirit with peace. May He strengthen you to walk with confidence in this season, knowing you are chosen, loved, and protected. May your waiting be filled with purpose, your solitude be rich with revelation, and your heart be ready when your appointed time comes. And when it does, May your union shine so brightly that it draws others closer to Him. Chosen one, this is your time to prepare, to grow, to trust, and to expect. Your story is not on pause. It is unfolding exactly as it should. God has you in His hands, and He will not fail you. If this message has spoken to your heart, make sure you subscribe to Rise of the Chosen. Tap the bell icon so you never miss what God is speaking, and share this with another chosen one who needs this reminder today. You never know whose life could be changed simply because you shared the word. Now go forward with boldness, knowing that you are not waiting in vain. You are being prepared for greatness. And when the moment comes, you will see that every second of this season was worth it.